Hey, thanks for watching. I got myself here with my buddy here, and we're both here. And I just had to trick him a little bit because he acted like I wasn't prepared. I'm always prepared. So he asked me a question. How'd that go?
You got me pretty good. I actually
So,
got some acting skills.
I had
like
to
that.
show him that I had some acting skills. So he asked me if I had some paperwork, and I said no. You're supposed to get that. You told me you were going to do
And I
that.
had it, and I said I sent it over to you because my printer was broke.
And I just played like I didn't know what
Convincing.
you were
Glenn
talking
McBride,
about.
if you're watching, you can cast him now. He's pretty good.
I just did that. So, hey, have you been paying attention to shit lately?
Yeah, you've been on a pretty good run lately, huh?
It had to be the best week.
It was a good week for you.
I'm sorry, you could have came along, but you don't want to leave the house. It's not my fault. I can't wait for you.
I got stuff to do at home.
So, all right,
Dealing with
well,
a sick little kid for the last 2 weeks.
I know that you do, but stop making fun of me because I get out.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm proud of you.
What?
I tell you all the time.
You didn't say that yesterday.
I did. I told you
know.
I was proud of you.
And what did I say? Did you send this to the right person?
Tell everybody about your week.
All right, first let's start with this. I can say Happy Valentine's, but as you can see, I had no idea it was Valentine's Day. I forgot. I mean, I knew yesterday that today was Valentine's Day, but then I forgot. I had so much going on, but Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Sugar.
Happy Valentine's Day to my wife, too, man.
Yes. All
Spending
right.
it apart, but
So, the clubhouse. We always start at the clubhouse, right?
big news at the clubhouse this week.
Yeah, but before I get to the clubhouse, let me tell you what else happened this week.
Did I miss something?
I don't know. I can't keep up with what's going on. I really can't. My magic set went out on sale this week at the clubhouse. It's 4,000 points for the prize. It's on sale at Ron Joe's Magic Shop for $39.99.
Where's Ron Joe's?
Ron Joe's is in Port Jeff, New York, and that's a good thing there because Ron talked to me the other day. He said, drag it out. Give him more information. So here's some information on my magic set. There's 10, that's right, 10 tricks in there. I selected all 10 of these tricks. A couple of them are some of my favorite. If you've seen some of my shows, you know that little marble there is kind of one of my favorites. And the cups and balls is everybody's favorite. You see that little spring right there? Mm-hmm. Yeah, people don't like that spring. They don't like when I give it to them. Really, I had people all ready to throw the spring across the parking lot. It's a puzzle, we call it, and it definitely twists your brain. And then we have the collapsing cane there. So if you hold the cane, it collapses. So here's the website for Ron Joe's Magic Shop, Ron Joe's Costumes. And they have offered to give us some costumes if we want to do some things too.
That's awesome.
So there you go. Shout out to Ron Joe's. Thank you, Pete, for putting all that together. So we
Is your website up here? Can they order it off your website when it's up?
no, I did not want to do that. By the way, yes, because Frankie, this is why he's so good to me. Right? It's like sit down and fun time. Well, Frankie's so good to me, I forgot. This is how much I got. My website is up. It's running. Andrew/Washington.com. That's where you can find. We have information there on The Truth. We have information on my lawn care service. We have information on NAX Wrestling, 521-22, Clifton, New York. We're going to be there, and it's somebody's birthday. I ain't telling you guys. You're going to have to wait and find out. And then I also have, what else I got? I don't know.
You pretty much covered it.
There's something else I forgot. But whatever. Hit the button, find out. Look and see. There's 4 things. So that's Bobby saying, keep it going, brother. So Neil Patrick Harris popped into the clubhouse this weekend, and there I was showing him some magic. And for people who don't know, Neil Patrick Harris is a historian of magic. He was also the president of Magic Society for 3 years. This guy gets in exclusive places that nobody can get into. I first knew him as I first knew him as Doogie Howser. Doogie Howser, Ricky Schroeder, and Gary Coleman are the ones who first gave me the idea of getting into the acting thing. And that it didn't just stop there. Then we had another visitor pop in, and she happened to call, and one of her friends was in the day before, and I did some magic for her kids, and she wanted to come and see. So Julie Banderas from Fox Channel 5 News stopped in, and hopefully one day we'll get her on the show. But I did say, Julie, you're going to be covering us one day. And that one day is coming soon. because I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something to make her cover us. I promise you. I'm gonna get us out there. So the Magic Set's out there. Julie Menderes is out there. Paradise Studios is out there. And we are going to talk about some of the guests that we coming on. Who do we got coming on?
Tonight we have another Central Islip in the house again tonight, trying to represent Mr. Francis Call, who is the author of Footsteps of a Forgotten Soldier, The Life and Times of David Call. It's about his grandfather. He's going to be joining us in a few minutes. And we have a friend of yours coming on.
We also have Rachel Bouchamp Ferraro. She is a friend of mine since first grade. We went to school together. She went to Central Islip High School. I went to St. John the Baptist, and we kind of lost touch, but through Facebook, we were able to keep in contact. And she's doing some amazing things, and she's going to come on in a little while after we speak to Francis and hear about his book and some of the stories I found, like going through his information. I found that some of the stories could be like I have a lot of questions, like what'd you feel like when you heard? I have a lot of questions. I don't want to get to those, but that's what we have going on. It's incredible. I did something for the library systems of Suffolk County just the other day on Wednesday, and Thursday my phone started ringing. So now I can do shows at all the libraries throughout Suffolk. There's like 142. I forget which. I think 146, 152 libraries, which I didn't know there were that many.
Yeah, me neither.
But I have the potential of working in each one of those. So here I am on stage with some of the other librarians, and these two, I'm just like, what are they doing?
Yeah, what the hell are they
I don't know. I was there, and I don't know what they were doing.
You're like, I'll wait.
So yeah, and that's exactly what that was. It's like I was standing there, and like I didn't know what to wear for that type of event either. So Kathy, she tells me, she's like, wear your jacket. So I wore my jacket.
With the Prince jacket, I like that. That's my favorite jacket.
Yeah, I went with that. It's really purple. It looks more purple and gold, little CI thing. But this lady with the mask on was pretending to be a magician. And I got to play with some animals as well. There had other people there that were looking to book like petting zoos and things like that through the library system. So they were there as well. And I got to hold this
rabbit. Look at that. You look like you almost have a soul there. Like you really, you got that look on your face. Like,
Right.
But I know you're better than that.
Yeah, that's what I have. And this is what I can't wait till the jokes come out on this one. It's like
I told you there were so many things I could say about this picture, but
Frankie's been dying.
I was just reserving.
So when I was loading up the stuff, I was like, okay, Bobby, yeah, Frank's gonna love this one. I can't, but yeah, man, I'm holding a rooster. I'm holding a rooster, and that's what I did the last 7 days. So it started out with one of my childhood favorite rappers in K Solo.
Yeah, that was great.
I got to rap with K Solo a little bit. ISPLL, you know what I mean? So that was I spelled very well if you didn't understand. And then I got to close it out with Neil Patrick Harris. My Magic Sets, I have only a few left. Ray Cavelli purchased 2 of them.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, man.
Ray's
awesome.
Great guy. I love Ray, man.
Ray's awesome.
Funny dude. We had him on the show that time. And
my God.
He was hysterical.
We had the show's on a Monday. I was up there in Clifton, New Jersey on Saturday. And the whole time in between, I'm like, this guy had me dying.
Yeah, he was funny when he was on the show for
He
what,
had
the
me
15, 10 minutes we had him on. He was great.
I've been out with Ray ever since. And this dude is nonstop.
He's great.
Nonstop. Like, the pedal is on the metal the whole time.
That's awesome.
It's like, yo, do you ever let up? And sometimes I'm like, Ray, shut up. Yeah, he just goes, but he's cool. He's cool to hang out with.
Hey, to switch gears a little bit.
Of course.
We talked about it. Another friend of ours from Central Islip, Mr. Joseph Lynn, just passed away. Joey was a good friend of ours. He was actually your...
Yeah, man, I couldn't believe it. I first learned of this, and my heart goes out to Maddie, Mikey, and the Lenz family. I first learned of this looking at Frankie's post. He said, my heart goes out to, passing of the Lenz. And now, this man has been sick for a long time. And truthfully, I thought he passed away a while ago. He was having real complications, and we didn't have, like, the contact that we do on Facebook, and thankfully he hadn't. But when I saw that Facebook post, it's like my heart dropped. Joe was my hockey coach. He was my freshman hockey coach at St. John the Baptist, and it helped a lot in me becoming a hockey player. He helped develop my skills. You know, I had some challenges at the beginning because I don't know if you know the whole story, but I ice skated for the first time with Jimmy Miller and Jimmy Pasilico. And the next day I tried out for the hockey team, and I made it. I had never ice skated before. Can you tell? It's not something that we just do.
Joey never let it held him back too. He was a lawyer. He was helping seniors, keep their homes.
Joe
and stuff.
Joe was working.
He was a fighter to the end, man. You used to see him at the gym. He'd be at the gym.
He looked good. I just saw a post with him a couple of days ago, so it really took me back. Really sad to hear.
Well, our deepest condolences to Len, especially Billy Len, my buddy, a longtime buddy, man. We're with you guys. We love you guys, and we're so sorry.
Centralized Slip. This seems like a Centralized Slip show. Both of our guests are from Centralized Slip, and someone that touched all of us is from Centralized Slip. Joey Lenz is going to be missed for sure, and I really appreciate what he did for me. He really did help us out a lot. He made it comfortable. He was CI. You said he was a fighter. He was CI.
Absolutely.
And that's what we do. That town, the more and more you see, that town sticks together. 20 years without seeing each other, doesn't matter. The town sticks together. Yeah. It's like one of those small town Oklahoma cities where everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, like Mayberry, everybody knows each other.
But that's not the case. Everyone knows of someone. Mm-hmm. We're not in everybody's business, but you're from CI, we got your back. And we got your back to the Lens Fed. Let me know what we can do. If we can do anything, arrangements, let us know, please. That's very sad. That was very sad news.
I was very taken back by it too, man. It just, I've been losing a lot of friends lately, man. And I was telling, the world's becoming a lonelier place, and the world was a better place with Joey in it, and it just sucks, man. And that's part of our childhoods,
Yeah, brother, we're losing pieces of our childhood.
That's it.
Pieces of our childhood. Well, with that, we're going to turn this and get a little bit more exciting. I really can't say exciting because some of the stuff in the book is not exciting. But you're going to hear about this book and why it was written, the inspiration behind it, when we come back after this commercial break. And before I let you go, we got a little something to show you. This magic stuff is going a little crazy.
Oh, there you go. Okay, that's it.
Pay attention to the hands.
See it. Look on here.
Hey, welcome back. So, how did you like those hands? I've been working on some things, and I got some more, and that's not the only trick you guys are going to see. I'm going to do a trick live at some point tonight, but I want to bring in, he's an Army veteran. He attended C.W. Post College, then he went off to Central Texas College. A little bit after that, he decided to put the pen to paper, and he's author of this book, The Forgotten Soldier. Another guy from Centralized Slip. I love CI. We're going to bring him in. It's Frankie Call.
What's up, Frank?
Frank, how you doing?
I'm good, man. It's been a long time, brother.
Man, it seems like a lifetime, man. You're looking good.
We still look good, though, right, for old guys, huh?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Oh, he's going to say something smart now. Here we go, Frank. Watch.
Francis, the show is called The Truth, right? You don't have to say he looks good just to say he looks good for old time's sake, right? We all see. We got cameras all over.
Stupid.
I see 6 different pictures of him right now. We see what it is. Let's be real.
Well, you look fabulous yourself.
That's what I'm talking about.
Now you know he's lying. So he's just trying to be nice because it is your show. Your name's first. So.
Hey, it's our show. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
So you wrote a book based on stories that your family told you over the course of your life. So I have so many questions about this. I tried to embrace how you must have felt with some of these stories being told. And then I like, how long after these stories were you proud of some of the stories that you heard? Because like for me, it wasn't until I was in my 40s, maybe late 30s, where I actually appreciated what I grew up with in high school. I had my great-grandfather from World War I. I had my grandfather from World War II. My grandfather retired from the city fire department in '78 after 28 years of service. And it was way after that I thought, wait a minute, 1950s as a black New York City fireman? Wow. You had some of those feelings. Tell us about some of that.
Oh, absolutely, man. You basically hit the nail right on the head. It wasn't until later, in my life that I had a full appreciation to the history that was being told to me by, my elders and my family. I grew up in Central Islip, of course, but before moving out to CI, I lived in Glen Cove, in Long Island. And my family, my dad is originally from Oyster Bay. And my grandfather, was alive at the time as I was coming up as a kid. He would always tell us these stories, and it's like sometimes, you would look at him like, is that really the truth that he's telling us? But in actuality, it was the truth. And the stories that he would tell us was basically his life and how he grew up, going to the parades when he was a kid and seeing President Teddy Roosevelt, marching in the streets in Oyster Bay. And so those are the stories that he told us about how his life was as a child growing up. He was born in 1900. And so Teddy Roosevelt was in office when he was like 5 to 9 years old, really. And those stories, kind of cemented in my memory as I got older. But the one story that was most intriguing to me was the story of my great-great-grandfather, who was buried in the cemetery right there in Oyster Bay in Pine Hollow. Out of all of the markers in the cemetery, his is the only noticeable Civil War soldier that has a marker in that cemetery. And my grandfather, when we were kids, would take us there and tell us all about who this man was. And, like you said, you really didn't have a true appreciation of those stories that were being told to you until you got older. And so, as I got older and the more that I looked into who he was and the regiment that he fought in and how all of that came about in the state of New York, it was compelling to me. And the more information that I uncovered, the more information I sought. And that's basically how I journeyed out with this whole venture.
So, Frankie, that movie Glory, would that be an accurate depiction of how it was back then for African Americans, fighting in the war and stuff?
Yeah, I would say that it was an accurate depiction. What makes New York and the soldiers from New York a little extraordinary is the majority of the soldiers from New York, when they enlisted, were all free men, right? They were all free men, and I'm using my great-great-grandfather as an example. He was 18 years old when he enlisted. He worked as a boatman. He had a job. He was making a living. And before he enlisted, he got married. And this is all documented. This is all information that has been told to me, as a young person, and other information that I've gathered, as a researcher. So that information that I retrieved, it really did, and I would say Glory really did the way that the soldiers actually had to go through training, how they were recruited, how they were somewhat treated. That is pretty accurate, I would say, definitely.
Yeah, you touched on two of the things that I wanted to ask you. One of those was, out of all the stories that you heard, which one of those stories stood out, which you addressed, and you touched about the free men. So in 1795, a group from Oyster Bay
Mhm.
actually enlisted for the Civil War. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about like the free black men? Like, well, I understand that they're not slaves. So, can you touch on that and what you learned about that between like the slavery that we had on Long Island then, and but we still had some free black people who were able to walk around freely.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because in the state of New York, it's kind of it was kind of I would say a long journey to black people being free in the state of New York. They in the state of New York, I believe it was in 1829 actually, or 1823. I would say between 1823 and 1829 that slavery was. They started the process to end slavery in the state of New York during that time. And it took some years later with different laws and different laws being enacted to fully abolish slavery from the state of New York. And the thing is that with the Civil War, the Civil War began in 1861, right? That was the start of the Civil War. In the state of New York, most blacks were free. I would say the majority of blacks were free. You may have had some people who were indentured, indentured servants is what
Yeah.
we would probably call them. But for the most part, by 1861, in the state of New York, slavery had already been abolished. Um, what is unique about the Civil War and the blacks from New York is that they had no way of entering the military because they didn't allow the white soldiers to fight along the black soldiers. So in the state of New York, when the Civil War came about, the Union states, they basically offered up um, regiments from their states. New York State actually raised three colored regiments. They were called colored regiments at the time. It was the 20th United States Infantry Colored Regiment. It was the 26th United States Colored Troop Regiment, and it was the 31st. Now, there was a lot of controversy during that time because it was controversial because they did not, the powers that be, did not really want blacks to fight in the Civil War. And particularly in the state of New York at the time, the governor at the time was Horatio Seymour. And he did everything in his power to prevent colored regiments from being raised in the state of New York. So it took an act by private organizations and private donors to actually raise funds to have these colored regiments raised so they could enlist. And one of the organizations, one of the biggest donors that really foot the bill and allowed these regiments to be organized was the Union League of New York, New York City. They were a powerful organization at the time. They were absolutely for the blacks. They were absolutely for blacks to fight in the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln called on blacks to fight in the Civil War. He called on them to enlist. But in the state of New York, we had that governor who did everything in his power to prevent it. But he didn't prevail. The regiments were raised, and the first regiment that was raised was the 20th United States Colored Troop Regiment. And it filled up so fast, they had so many people, so many black men volunteering it filled up so quickly they had to form another regiment, which was the 26th.
Wow.
That regiment filled up so quick that they had to form another regiment, and that was the 31st United States Colored Troop Regiment. And I'm telling you, man, Frankie, you know, in high school, you know, did we learn any of this in high school?
No. Listen, you bring
You're
up
teaching
something
me
that
right now,
resisted.
man.
I didn't know there was such a resistance to have them fight. I mean, this is mind-blowing.
I didn't know that. I did
You know,
not know.
particularly in the state of New York, right? Where the state of New York did play a large role in the Civil War. Don't get me wrong, the white troops as well sacrificed greatly. There were so many regiments from the state of New York, white troops alongside with black troops, you know, that volunteered. Some were drafted early on, but the majority were volunteers, you know. And there's so much history that that you know we weren't told, and this is history that I had to find and dig up, you know, basically on my own doing the research work that I did. So,
Yeah.
Now, speaking of research, I'm sorry, Andrew. Did you just go by what you knew from your family, or did you actually go, like, after my father died, I went to St. Louis, Missouri, and got all of, you know, his records. Did you go to, like, the War Department to get a lot of? Did they have the records from the Civil War still? Like, how did that work?
oh yeah, absolutely. So, you know, a lot of the records I first have to mention my co-author with my first book, which is my cousin Denise Evans Shepard. So she was an integral part of the first book coming out. And what we did, and even as we were younger, we would go to like the Church of Latter-day Saints, because they had a record of, they had old records there, old what do you call census records,
Okay.
and it went way back to like 1700. So we used to go there, like when we were teenagers, we would just, you know, go there and look up different things, see what information we could find on our family. And we did that for a while. We did research at Hofstra University. We went down to Long Island University to see what they had in their archives. But the biggest breakthrough that we had was when my nephew and I went down to Washington, D.C., to the National Archives, because that trip to the National Archives, it actually showcased the whole pension file on my great-great-grandfather's, pretty much his life. And it had information about the wars that the battles that he fought in, different information about him personally, you know, illnesses, injuries that he sustained while he was in service. So that packet that we got from the National Archives was tremendously important to us. And it also had a photograph of him in his pension file.
Wow, that's incredible. Before we get to the part where we got to wrap this up, there's a question that I want to know. What made you decide that this is the time to share this story? And thank you for sharing this story.
Absolutely.
But you know, I listened to what you were saying in the beginning. I'm waiting for your book, because what you are talking about, we know the history of New York, right? We know the history of the New York Fire Department, and you know the ins and outs of some of the early on when it came to, you know, racism, favoritism. We know that. So for your family to be there in 1950 in the New York City Fire Department, I mean, that's a story in itself.
Listen, I appreciate you on that, Francis, because the wheels are started slowly rolling on that. I've slowly started speaking out about it, and you know, it gets even deeper with that. His name is George Harrison. Okay, so he was a New York City fireman in the times when the Beatles were around. We didn't have all of this technology we have. So, you know, we have swarms of people outside his apartment waiting to meet George Harrison. He'd walk right by, and they're still sitting out there, not knowing that that's George Harrison. That's who you guys are sitting out waiting for. I have stories upon stories, good and bad, people dying, my dad going into a fire and then a flash over, killing the guy behind him. I have so many stories of people not wanting him to enter their buildings because he was black as a fireman. They'd rather have the house burned down. There's a lot of stories, and like both of us, we didn't appreciate it and understand it until they weren't here to say, we appreciate you and thank you.
Yeah. Well, you're here now, right?
And I'm continuing the word. I'm going to do what, as you are. But you beat me to that book. I'm trying to do magic first. I wasn't trying to write a book.
You can do both.
I'm surprised you guys said went to Centralized High School can't write a book.
We can. We can put sentences together and everything, right, Frank?
That's pretty good.
Absolutely,
That's
man.
pretty good.
He's a magician, not a comedian, as you can see, bro.
Wow. Well, I guess I'm also a GQ guy. What are you? Just dumb.
You just look in the mirror, bro. Look in the mirror.
Hey, this
What
guy.
do I say?
What does he say? He says you're ugly. Leave me alone. This guy was talking about you. He was really excited for a while to have you come. The story, I appreciate this man so much because he's the one who was telling me, he's like, yo, this is a story you have to read. Yo, this guy's family. And then I'm starting to get into things, and I'm like, your great-grandfather, your great-great-grandfather. I'm like, wow. And just sitting here, trying not to watch the clock keep moving. I'm like, you talking about the museum down there in Washington. I'm like, I need to go down there.
Absolutely.
I need to go down there. Because my grandfather served in the Navy and the Marines. There were not too many. And as I get older, I realized what a badass my grandfather was.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
At his funeral, they talked about this big Marine coming out with his chest out. And I'm like, wow, that was like in the 50s. They respected this man.
Yep.
So this is what we do, man. I have something to live up to, and I'm trying to do my best.
Absolutely.
Frankie, before you leave, man, plug your book. Let everybody know where they can get it.
Sure. You can go to www.davidcarl, that's CARLL.com, and you can order the book there. That is my the first book that I wrote, and I did a continuation, and it's also on the website as well. And this is the continuation of the first book. So there's 2 books out there.
I feel like I should hold up something too. Shoot.
And you can get this on Amazon too, right, Frank? Amazon too, you can get this on?
Say again?
You can get this on Amazon?
Yes, you can get it on Amazon and you can get it on the website, either or. You can go straight to Amazon and plug in Footsteps of a Forgotten Soldier, and it'll pull up both books for you.
Well, Francis Carl, I thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate your story. And there's a lot more I want to get out of this. You do see it Central Islip proud. You do Glen Cove proud. But most of all, Central Islip stay strong.
If you're ever in the neighborhood, man, please come on. If you ever down here.
I'm most certain.
Love to have you. There's a lot more we would like to hear from you, man.
Really?
I appreciate that. I really appreciate you guys having me on. I've been watching your show, and I feel like I'm a step up now because you guys had some pretty good entertainers coming on. So thanks. Thank you very much.
It's this guy right here. I just make him laugh. he brings them in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's good seeing you again, man. Thank you so much for coming on.
Good seeing you too.
We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to come back with the live magic trick, maybe, and my friend Rachel Boucham. We'll be right back after this. back. Thanks for watching Francis Call. That was kind of
was
interesting.
Awesome. We could have spent an hour and a half.
I
with
know,
him, you
I definitely would have. So I just want to show you guys something really quick. Can you hold this? So I hope you guys can see this well on camera. I have 2 quarters. Let's see how they look. Yep, those are quarters.
Those are quarters.
They have a hole in it, correct?
I see him, yeah.
All right, do me a favor. Can you stick that through there, please?
Can.
Da, 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 da. And then we'll hold this here. Completely through.
Right.
Do me a favor now. Take your pencil.
Pull it up.
Take it out, take it out, take it out. So I have my quarters here. Now I want to see if I can blend something for you right in front of you, buddy. Right in front of your eyes. We're going to blend this. You ready for this? We're going to blend.
What?
And then we're going to fill the holes.
No way.
We're going to fill the holes.
I'm watching that right in front of me.
We're
How the
gonna
hell
fill
did
the
you do
holes.
that?
So now, if I take these here, right, we just fill the holes. Now, if you rub a little bit more, you could
Get out of here, bro.
rub them to another.
This is right in front of my face. There's no freaking way.
That's what we do. Magic is hot. I'm hot. We're killing it right now.
Good
I
night.
love it. Let's bring Rachel
Good night.
Bouchamp in here,
I'm out.
please.
I'm out.
Please come in,
You just
Rachel.
Blew my mind for the whole night, bro. Good job.
This is what we do. Rachel, how you doing?
Wow.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good. How are you,
We're
Rachel?
having a little bit of fun. We're having a little bit
Yeah.
of fun. So, you've been doing some interesting things, my friend. Let me get
Yeah.
to this here. Centralized Native, yes, another
Again.
one.
Yeah, yeah.
So, pediatric occupational therapist. Now, you work at a school for children for special needs, which is very important to me. I worked at a group home for people with special needs for a long time. Then you had your cousin Rebecca. She introduced you to this wonderful product, and you wanted to
Yes.
support her. This is a support. This is what we do around
Absolutely.
here. She wanted to support her cousin, so she bought some of the products, and then she fell in love with it. I sound like a commercial. Instant results. She had instant results, and
Yep.
now, a year into it, she is kicking ass. Rachel, I have a video. I only was able to grab one of the videos. I'm going to put
Okay.
it up. I don't know if you could see it, but this is just the one where it's quick. You do the process showing everybody how to apply. You put it in your hair. It made my hair fall out, though.
Oh, did it? Oh, no.
you see that?
Don't say that.
Bobby, can we play
These
that
guys been missing for a
video?
long time, Rachel. Don't worry about
All right, going for it.
it. You're so stupid.
All right, so we just watched a little routine of some of the products by Monet that Rachel does. Rachel, you want to explain to us a little bit about what your morning routine? I hope that's not your morning routine. Would it take 45 minutes? Just what do you do?
No, it doesn't. I swear it doesn't take that long.
What's that routine?
So the routine is always that you would use the cleanser. You wash your face 2 times. It's very important to wash your face twice. And then after that, we have several products in the routine. We have a vitamin C serum. We have like a skin essence, which is kind of like a toner, but it's even better than a regular toner. You don't need to use a toner when you use this cleanser that we have. And then we follow that up with our moisturizer. We have a different moisturizer for day and night, different products that you would use at night compared to the day. We have like something like this, you would use it at night. And this is our Rewind serum, an anti-aging serum. We also have a vegan retinol serum that we use. All the products are vegan and they're gluten-free. They're all Leaping Bunny certified, and that means that they're not tested on animals.
Okay, good.
They're all naturally based and very safe to use. And we also have hair care products.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because Rachel had sent me some of the bottles a while ago, and I did a couple of TikToks. I was playing around with some videos, and then my stuff got crazy from there, and I really haven't gotten to do much with it. But I'm getting back into my videos, and that's one of the things I'm going to get into. Someone came, because I have an arcade game in my living room, and the bottles are there on a stand, and someone saw the anti-aging cream and swears up and down that's what I'm doing now. It's like, that's what it is. I knew you were doing something.
I can guarantee him you're not. So.
And I was like, no, really, I'm not. I felt like I was back in school. Andrew, did you? No, I didn't. I really didn't. It's like one of those, I like, come on, man, anti-aging. Do I look like it?
You do. You look like you haven't aged a bit.
Well, thank you very much. So what else you got going on, Rachel? Where can people find this? Tell us more about the brand. Now, this is not your product. You work for a company as a distributor, as a self-employer?
Correct. Yes, it's a network marketing company. It's a company that's founded by the Urdaneta family, and they're from Venezuela. It's a family-owned company, and we are in several different countries, including we're in Canada, Spain, the UK, Australia. They just launched into Poland, Lithuania. So yeah, they're really expanding, and it's a fairly young company. It's only been around for about 9 years now.
Yeah,
but it's probably one of the fastest growing network marketing companies in the world right now.
Yeah, it seems like it's growing really fast, and it seems like you're doing really well at it. One of the things that I was reading with you is like we got into our little situation here kind of at the same time and kind of for the same reasons. With the pandemic coming, you took that as an opportunity to kind of launch this and get this going. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the pandemic for a lot of people, it really caused this huge shift in the workforce for people. The evolution of, people starting their own businesses because they needed a plan B.
Yeah.
Once the pandemic hit, it really caused kind of a revolution. And so this is just a great, people, network marketing gets a bad rap, but I think that they're excellent opportunities for people who want to, who maybe can't go out. Maybe they're a stay-at-home mom, or a college student that's just trying to earn extra money, or somebody who's retired and wants to do something different, or somebody who's just looking to have a little bit more income, but they don't have a full-time job that they need to work at, but they don't want to sacrifice time with their family. Network marketing is a great opportunity. It's one of the only businesses where you can actually earn a steady income while you're building the business, and you don't need to have a huge overhead or carry inventory and things like that. So it's actually an amazing opportunity. It's a great business model for people, and I think more and more people are looking into it and realizing that that it is an excellent opportunity and giving it a chance.
So now, what are you more into? Because you say you're not a salesperson, and neither am I. But I can damn sure sell ice to an Eskimo. But it's just because when you're passionate about something, you're not really selling it. When you believe in something, you're not really selling it. You're talking about your experience. So
Exactly, and I
it's, easy,
think-
it's easier.
Yes, and I think like we're all a little bit salespeople, because if you really like something, if you have a favorite restaurant, or if you have a great book that you just read or something like that, you talk about it. You talk about it to people. You recommend it. You say, or you have a great barber that you go to. You say, you got to go to this guy. He's excellent. So we're always kind of selling things in our daily lives because it's things that we use, things that we enjoy, we like, and so that's how I felt about these products. For me, it wasn't any different for me than if I had a great babysitter, or I found an awesome pair of shoes or something like that. Like, I want to share with my friends and my family because I know they're going to love it as well. And that's how I really felt about these products. I saw amazing results right away, and I just knew that there was a market out there for people who can use these products and would love them because they're such high quality. They last a really long time, and there's something for everyone. It's very individualized.
Well,
it's not just like
after the
cookie cutter.
show, I'd like you to go on to the Truth page on Facebook, and post where people can get in touch with you,
Absolutely.
where they can buy some of the products, whatever they want. Just put a link up there so they can get in touch with you. You can help them out. Now, do you mainly deal with just the products? It sounds like you're also got a lot of knowledge about the company. Do you also try to recruit other cousins?
Other what? I'm sorry.
Other cousins, like Rebecca recruited you?
I do. I never. You're always trying to find people to join your team, to expand your business, and so that's basically what I'm doing. Actually, just this month, have two new people on my team, so I'm really excited about that. And both of them have used the products, and it's the same kind of situation where they really love these products, and they decided to join the team and start selling them themselves.
Well, that's awesome. So there had to be a time to come during this little interview where I stopped talking about Monet and I started talking about St. John of God.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you didn't know. Rachel, she was awesome in school. She was very smart. She was very smart in school.
Did you sit next to her to cheat off her? Is that what happened?
Nah, I didn't sit next to her. Wherever I sat, I was sitting next to somebody smarter than I was. So,
Anywhere you sit, the person's smarter than you.
anywhere I
So it doesn't
sat,
matter.
I was smart.
Sit in the stadium.
We had a lot of fun. But Rachel's mom, I absolutely loved her mom. There was a couple of people. Danette Jones, her mom used to come up. She was a regular. Thursdays we used to have hot dogs and ice cream. We didn't have a cafeteria.
Hot dogs and ice cream.
We were whatever you brought on the bus. That's what you.
You're talking about St. John of God.
Yeah. So everyone's like, oh, private school. Yeah. We ate out. We kept our lunch in our desk. We had a closet or whatever. But Rachel's mom on Thursday would come every week and help prepare downstairs the hot dogs and the ice cream, and it was always a big thrill of mine to go, because we go down in the basement. That's where you got them. But the stories were that there was also the spanking machine down in the basement. So I would want to go get the hot dogs so I could see Mrs. Jones and Mrs. Bouchard say hi. It was like getting out of the classroom, but I was lurking for that spanking machine. Nobody knows this. I was searched many years for this spanking machine. And recently someone put a post up of Sister Agnes, which I copied that picture. I'm going to use that one day.
Oh, Sister
I didn't go there, but I knew Sister Agnes. I knew who she was.
See, everyone knows about evil people. You guys
I went
roam
to CI
together.
High School, but I still,
You guys roam together. Let me tell you. Well, earlier today when I was doing this to you, I was thinking fun time, mister. Sister
That's what
Eleanor.
you said to me, too.
Yeah, I did say that, right? Sister Eleanor, it's not fun time. Oh,
Oh, no.
Okay, please, sister, back up, please. Yeah, she wasn't cool with brushing her teeth. That wasn't one of the commandments, so she didn't follow it. Yeah. Rachel, tell us more, because I keep going. I'll keep going. That's why they just pointed at the
Oh,
clock. and said,
tell you
shut up.
about
Where did
St.
she grow up?
John
What
of
street
God.
did she grow up on?
Where did you grow up in Central Islip?
On Caleb's Path.
Oh, Cal's Path. Okay, on the other side. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yep. Grew up over there.
it's weird. Like there's sections that you just don't hear.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know. That's the East Brentwood
Yeah,
CI.
that's
thing,
why.
you know,
That's
the little
why. That's
border.
why I was on
Yeah,
the
you,
other
Josh-
end.
you
Joshua was
crossed the
cut to-
street from my house and you were in Brentwood.
Yeah, that's like where I am, across the street. Because you were by 111. Well, Cal's Path
Yep.
is 111
Yep.
for those that don't
Yep.
know. It just splits off. Tell us what else, because I just didn't pay attention to time tonight.
Well, what else? Let me think. Well, you were always the class clown, right?
No. Not
It was
him.
me.
He's always, oh yes, always a comedian.
I used to sit in class quietly and then just do my homework and raise my hand and say yes.
I seen pictures of you. You with that
Uh-huh.
little smile on your face. You look like the cat that ate the canary, man. So I wish I had
Oh,
that
yeah.
picture. You in your little suit.
They used
I
to
seen
say-
that picture on Facebook.
I used to walk up. They used to say, "I see your little horns." My godfather's mother's like, "Oh, you little devil." So
You know, you're always looking for, I think everyone was looking for a reason to escape the classroom because they had like 45 of us shoved in there.
Oh, it was
Not-
terrible. Yeah, I would go do the erasers, come back into class all white. You know, I go outside, cut the erasers, and come back inside.
Yeah.
I was all white. It's like, oops. Or yellow, depending on what color chalk they use that day. Well,
But
Rachel,
it was fun.
I am so glad I got you on. When I first saw Rachel's product, I told her, I said, I'm going to get you on the show. I didn't have a show.
That's right.
I was talking about Michelle Astor, Disturbed and Confused, but Michelle was booked up. And the minute I got this going, and I had a goddamn.
And
I
lo
had
and
the
behold, we
opportunity,
came up with the show in my backyard over the summer, right?
and now she's right here. Finally
Here
got
I
it.
am.
Glad you came on, Rachel.
Thank you
for
very
coming
much,
on.
Rachel. I
Thank you
wish you
so
the
much.
best of luck. Keep going. So
Thank you, and best of luck to you guys. It's a great show.
Thank you very much.
Plug your product one time before we leave, Rachel.
Okay, Monate, our vegan gluten-free products. I'm going to post on your page. Tomorrow night we're actually having a Zoom that people can join if they want to learn more about the products. I'll post the link there. If anybody who wants to join and talk some more about how you can start to get these fantastic products in your home.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Rachel.
Thank you, Rachel. Thanks for coming on.
I appreciate your
Thank you.
time. We are going to play. Remember, I told you that Miko. We were going to do a song a
Miko's
week.
killing it, bro.
A song a week for Miko. We're about to play Miko's latest release for you, right here, right now. It's Miko Khalidi.
Man, you say I can't, but I can, I gotta get it in. It's how I live, take a sip, cause we always win. Never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss, never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss. Never missing, all you winning, I'm the one, I'm on a mission. Dripping wet, she got me swimming, layer like I made a killing. You can stay, by the way, without a rhyme or reason. I could see that you was leaking, so we might as well be freaking out. And I'm tweaking out, ain't no doubt that I just figured out that there's a crowd the size of the dilemma that I'm facing now. Having everything in front of me like I'm supposed to be the winning team. I guess it means that I can sleep eventually. Staying in the game like an all-star at all costs. I'm all calls like the whip at OnStar. You're lost, cause I'm so relentless, man, you must've got the message. I never quit, I got my shot like I just had a beverage. Man, you say I can, but I can, I gotta get it in. It's how I live, take a sip, cause we always win. Never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss, never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss. Man, you say I can, but I can, I gotta get it in. It's how I live, take a sip, cause we always win. Never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss, never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss. Never missing, are you kidding? I'm the one, I'm never shifting so far up. Yeah, I'm lifting, tilt your cup. Never missing shots I take, I never break. I gotta motivate the hustle. Never fake, we can't relate. Activate my muscle when I'm flexing on them. Second set, boy, I'm wrecking on them, checking on them, yeah. Squirm without a weapon on them, chasing what I want. Placing all these thoughts in between my temples on a pedestal. So incredible, it's getting to the green like pesto. Never let it go, suck me sacco to the tempo of success, she dive right in. Stack back it up. Motherfucker, go and get it. Laugh it up, I gotta give you fuckers credit. Man, you say I can't, but I can, I gotta get it in. It's how I live, take a sip, cause we always win. Never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss, never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss. Man, you say I can't, but I can, I gotta get it in. It's how I live, take a sip, cause we always win. Never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss, never miss, never miss. Boy, I never miss.
And that was Miko Khalidi with Never Miss.
Miko was fire, bro.
That title came because his friend told him, every time you drop a song, you never miss. So that was the inspiration behind that song. Never
Miko
Miss.
sends me something once a week or even a couple of times a week.
Oh,
man.
no, he lets us out on
Everything
Instagram.
Everything is fire.
This is
that
social
sends me.
media. He's out there, one song a week.
He's killing it.
And he's
Killing it.
always dropping something, always letting you know he's doing what he's got to do.
And you know what? He always hypes us up too. man.
Miko's going to
Always.
get it. He's going to make it. But we're coming down to the end. I want to thank this guy right here for being as ugly as he is, because that makes me look a little bit uglier. I know, I get it, whatever. This guy's awesome. I appreciate you. Bobby, thank you very much. Max, you're not here, but you still help out even when you're
We
not
love
here.
you, Max. We
sending me
miss you.
stuff. Thanks, guys, for watching. Make sure you tune in next week, 9 p.m.
We got some good guests coming up next week.
Strong Island Television, 9 p.m. And we'll see you next week. Thank you very much
Good night.
for watching.
Thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate you.